joining us at Business Solutions, the University of Suffolk podcast. Today we have Matthew Cook from Suffolk County Council and we have Maureen Haker from the University of Suffolk. We are talking today about the Designated Teacher Award, and I will allow Matthew and Maureen to introduce themselves. So Matthew?
Yeah, hi. So I'm Matthew Cook. I am the virtual school head for Suffolk, which is a really unhelpful title. I'm not very popular at weddings when I have to describe what I do. I think a lot of people think it's an online school, and it is not. It has absolutely nothing to do with online learning. Virtual school is a position within the local authority. I have a role around our children in care and our children open to a social worker, and my job is to give them the protective factor as if they attended one school with one team supporting them and to have the best educational experience they can have.
Fabulous, lovely, and welcome. And Maureen?
Hi, I'm Maureen Haker. I work at University of Suffolk, and I'm a senior lecturer in the Childhood and Education department. So I've been working with the university for over 10 years now. And specifically, I work with students who are training to become teachers. And we also have our postgraduate program, which is where our collaboration between the Suffolk County Council and University of Suffolk lies. So our postgraduate course kind of caters to those who are already in practice and looking to advance their knowledge.
Fabulous, lovely. So if you could just give us a bit of an idea of how the collaboration came across and why the Designated Teacher Award has been created.
Sure. Shall I start?
Yeah, I'm happy to chip in afterwards.
Yeah. So, I think it was about 2014. It was some time ago. Ro, who works with Matthew at the Suffolk Virtual School, approached me and said, there's been, some updating of policies, and we're looking to be able to offer some of our teachers within Suffolk the opportunity to upskill, particularly those who are working with children in care. And so we kind of started talking, and she was thinking about, is there a module or something that we could kind of put together, or some kind of training that we could offer? And it took us, I think, a couple of years to kind of conceptualize what it was that we were doing, but we were working closely with the virtual school and then with Suffolk Psychological and Therapeutic Services. And we started offering a face-to-face course. And, we'd get a nice little cohort of students together, about a dozen students for a few years in a row, and thought, actually, this is quite good. This is something that we should offer more widely. And we kind of thought the best way of doing that would be to change the training so that it was something that was online, so it was a little bit more accessible, more widely, and kind of fit with teachers' busy schedules and that sort of thing. So really, it just kind of started out as the virtual school kind of approaching us and saying, there's no other training like this. It's really needed. Is there something that we can do? And from there, we kind of just worked together to design and convene this training.
Definitely. Yeah. It's really needed. And there's lots of other training opportunities for other roles within schools, like the SENCO qualification, the school leader qualification, the MPQ, H's and SLs. And it just felt like there was a gap, because the designated teacher role is such a precious role within a school, and it's so unique in its sort of skill set that I think that it's really important it gets the kind of equity of validation, and having a postgraduate qualification is totally appropriate, because it's a very skillful role, requires a huge amount of multi-agency coordination. It draws on a lot of skills, a lot of knowledge around trauma-informed practice that, it just felt like that there was something missing. And really, really appreciative of being able to explore how to do that through the university. Yeah, it's found a very sort of a natural home.
Yeah, absolutely. And so from what you've had feedback from previously, from the schools, what have the feedback been so far from this proposal of having this qualification?
Yeah, definitely an appetite for it. I think schools are really appreciative of a place to come and learn, but also build that network around it. There is a strong community and a strong network of designated teachers because it's such a unique role. It can be quite a lonely place within a school. You're sort of doing something, not everyone else knows that, and so meeting with other designated teachers, learning together, is something that is really craved. So it's very well welcomed by the school community for sure.
And the students that we've had on it so far, one of the things that we wanted to accomplish with this particular module, this kind of training, was to kind of change some of those more individualistic approaches to education and to really put the voice of the child at the center of practice. So, this kind of training, I think, is really, really helpful with that and developing their practice, and just really needed to institute that kind of change.
And so for schools that are listening to this podcast and are interested in this course, how will they go about getting involved within this course? So when are the courses starting? How long are they? It's just, if you can give us some details into that.
Yeah, so there's, I guess technically there's two ways of being able to take the course. So it is a standalone module that you can pick up, and you would earn some credits, postgraduate credits toward that you could, if you wanted to, say, complete another qualification or something at a later date, those credits can move toward it. So you can sign up as a standalone module, and that starts in November. I think will be our first cohort for the online version of this training, and we'll run another version in this spring. So you would just apply online. You can also sign up for the MA in Education at University of Suffolk, and it's listed as one of the optional modules that you would be able to take as part of that course. So if you're already signed up to a course or interested in doing a postgraduate degree, that's something that you can also take as part of that.
Fabulous. Okay.
Yeah, and I encourage anyone to talk to their head teacher if they're thinking about it. We'll be communicating with schools and through our communications out to designated teachers, through our newsletters, but also in headlines as well. So our head teachers and school leaders will know about it. And just do ask, I think.
And so as a head teacher, if I'm listening to this podcast, what is the benefit of them putting a designated teacher onto this award?
I think a lot. Many people get the role, and it's kind of something that you learn as you go. There needs to be a designated teacher in every school. In some cases, there hasn't been a child with care experience, and so it might be that a young person starting at the school is what triggers that. So having a kind of a wealth of material to learn from is going to be really helpful in that situation, because you don't know what you don't know, I think, is the sort of the main crux of it. And as a role, it's so critical for our most vulnerable children within the school, and it's a group of children that we need to do better by, and the designated teacher is a kind of a critical aspect of that. Their skills in being able to bring about the best educational experience, but also the best educational outcomes for that young person, and then being not necessarily the link, but making sure that they are fostering that link and that adult, that trusted adult within a school setting. All of those really key components that make our children's life in school so much more successful, all coming out of that course. And I couldn't recommend it highly enough. A lot of our designated teachers are very experienced, but they've kind of learned a lot on the job by themselves. So, getting a sense of how others are doing it, a bit of informed practice from the theories out there will be incredibly valuable.
Yeah, and as you said, that it's that support network as well, that they'll be introduced to other designated teachers who they can then lean on it for that support. That's what I'm guessing will happen as well, because it's going to be an online course as well, so it's going to be accessible to anyone and everybody, not just people in Suffolk.
Yeah, and there's opportunity within that online space for collaboration and for getting to know some of your peers. And, there are activities that will allow you to kind of share your experiences and read about other people's experiences as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's one of the most precious elements of it, because a designated teacher is often a sort of a directory. Because of certainly the more experienced they are, they will have had those links, they will have had to make those calls to those other agencies that a lot of professionals in school are not aware of until they have to. So reaching out and forming that network of very knowledgeable individuals will be a very powerful, collaborative indeed.
Fabulous. And so as an individual, is there any other benefits that you think that they would achieve by coming onto these courses?
I think that a lot of what we're talking about and a lot of the training and a lot of the material is not just going to help you with children who are from a care experience background. I think that's a really important point, that learning about relational based practice and the kind of the neuroscience is something that will help in teaching and learning of a whole sort of range of children with a range of profiles. So I think that there'll be additional benefits. We always find that a lot of what we might work with in sort of the virtual school and the things that we learn about often are then translated into other parts of the system, and other young people are benefiting because we've tested it and seen how successful that might be for our children, and then it goes on to be equally successful for other children. So I think there will be lots of knock-on and unintended benefits around it for the support needed for a whole range of young people in schools.
Yeah, I think when you look at some of the statistics around how many children, have some sort of trauma experience, or just situations that aren't necessarily fully ideal for development at that particular time. I think, like you're saying, a lot of those interventions and the approaches that are taught within the module would be really useful for reaching out to a whole range of students. So it's not just those who are in care, although obviously that is the focus of the module, but just how those can transfer across. And part of one of the tenets of trauma-informed practice is the idea that everybody has some kind of experience that affects them in some way. And taking a more relational approach like that can really help to reach out to any child. And when you're a teacher in charge of 30 very diverse and different children within your classroom, having those kind of tools in your toolbox, I think is particularly helpful.
Yeah, and as you say, that's the main point of this course, isn't it? Is just giving the tools to the teachers to be able to support those students that are in need of it. So wrapping this up, again, just if we can just go through a little bit more of how they can actually get this. So if a teacher is looking to come on board and do this course, come to the University of Suffolk website. We'll also be reaching out with mail shots and speaking directly to schools within Suffolk, as well as reaching out to the rest of the UK, because obviously this is an online course, so it's open to everybody. So I'd just like to say thank you very, very much for coming in and talking to us about the Designated Teacher Award, and we look forward to working with all the schools who are wanting to come on board with our courses.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.